It's so easy to ignore our challenges or pretend they don't exist, especially when we want to protect ourselves from the pain or discomfort that they bring. But the first step toward overcoming any obstacle is to truly acknowledge it. When you recognize and face the challenges in your life, you allow yourself the space to address them honestly and thoughtfully. Acknowledging a challenge means you're not denying the reality of your situation. It's important to face things head on, whether they're big or small. Ignoring them or pushing them aside only gives them power over you. When you acknowledge the challenges you face, you free yourself from the weight of pretending things are perfect. You give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling and process those emotions, knowing that it's okay to not have everything figured out. Acknowledging the challenge doesn't mean giving up. It's actually the first step to being empowered. When you recognize that something is hard or difficult, you can then make the decision to invite God in and allow His strength to help you. It's okay to admit that you can't do it all on your own. God already knows what you're going through, and He's waiting for you to open up and invite Him into the process. Facing the reality of your struggles also means you're no longer hiding from them, which opens the door for God's transformation in your life. When you acknowledge what's hard, you're giving God the opportunity to work in your life and bring about the miracles and breakthroughs you need. Inviting God into your life is an intentional choice, a conscious decision to open your heart to His presence and guidance. It's about recognizing that you don't have to navigate life's challenges alone. When you invite God in, you allow Him to take the reins and lead you toward solutions, peace, and strength that you cannot achieve on your own. This invitation isn't just about asking for help in times of trouble. It's about creating a relationship with God where He is welcome in all areas of your life. Whether you're experiencing joy or facing hardship, inviting God into every part of your journey allows you to walk with a sense of divine purpose and peace. It's about acknowledging His wisdom and allowing Him to shape your decisions, thoughts, and actions. When you invite God in, you surrender control and trust that His ways are better than your own. It means letting go of trying to control every outcome and allowing God to guide you toward what is truly best for you. It's not a sign of weakness. Rather, it's a sign of faith that the Creator of the universe has a plan for your life that is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. Inviting God into your life also means recognizing that He is there for you, not just in your times of struggle, but in your moments of joy and success as well. It's about fostering a continual connection with Him through prayer, reflection, and gratitude. When you open the door to God's presence, you invite peace, joy, and strength into your life. And no matter the challenges you face, you know that you are not alone in them. In the midst of life's challenges, it's easy to feel isolated, as if you're carrying the weight of the world all by yourself. It can feel overwhelming when difficulties arise, and the temptation to believe you're all alone can be strong. But the truth is, you are never truly alone. Even in your darkest moments, you have a constant companion who walks with you every step of the way. God is always with you, even when it feels like no one else understands your pain or your struggles. He sees you, He knows you, and He cares deeply about what you're going through. His presence is not limited by distance or circumstance. Whether you're facing a major trial or dealing with the daily pressures of life, God is by your side, ready to offer His strength, His peace, and His guidance. Sometimes the feeling of loneliness stems from focusing too much on the problem at hand and not enough on the presence of God in our lives. It's easy to get consumed by the difficulties, but when you remind yourself that you are not alone, when you consciously choose to invite God into the situation, you open yourself up to His support. He will never leave you or forsake you. His love is unshakable and constant, even when the world around you feels uncertain. When you allow God to be a part of your journey, you experience the comfort of knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have a source of strength greater than anything this world can offer. You can draw on His peace, His wisdom, and His love, trusting that He will help you through whatever you face. When you realize that you are not alone, the weight of the burden becomes lighter and the path ahead becomes clearer. The power of divine help is something that transcends anything we can fully comprehend with our human minds. It's a power that has the ability to change situations, transform lives, and bring peace where there was once chaos. When you invite God into your challenges, you tap into a strength and wisdom that go far beyond your own abilities. Divine help is not just about getting through a difficult situation. It's about seeing that situation from a higher perspective. With God's help, what may seem impossible to us becomes possible. The power of divine help brings clarity in times of confusion, strength in moments of weakness, and hope when things look hopeless. It's not about relying on your own limited resources, but about drawing from an infinite source of power and love. God's help is transformative. When you open your heart to divine assistance, you're not only asking for a solution to your problem, but you're also opening yourself to change. The power of divine help reshapes your mindset, renews your spirit, and equips you to face challenges with a new sense of resilience. It's like receiving a surge of divine energy that strengthens you from the inside out. Sometimes divine help comes in ways that we don't expect. It could be through a feeling of peace that settles in the midst of the storm, or through a thought or idea that suddenly makes everything clear. It might come through the support of others, or it could be in the form of a direct intervention that alters the course of events. But no matter how it comes, divine help is always exactly what you need at exactly the right time. When you allow God to take the lead, you tap into His infinite wisdom. His ways are higher than our ways. And His divine help is not just about overcoming a specific challenge. It's about living with the assurance that you are always supported, guided, and loved by a power that will never fail you. When you invite this help, you're embracing the truth that you don't have to do it on your own, and you can face whatever comes your way with confidence and peace. Faith in God's plan is one of the most powerful and grounding beliefs you can hold. It's the assurance that no matter what happens in your life, God has a purpose for you, and His plan is always working for your good, even when you don't see it or understand it at the moment. Trusting in God's plan means believing that He is always in control, even during times of uncertainty or difficulty. We may not always be able to see the bigger picture. Sometimes life's circumstances can make us question why things are happening the way they are. We may wonder if we're on the right path or if things will ever work out the way we hope. But faith in God's plan is about trusting that even when things don't make sense, God is still at work behind the scenes. His timing, His wisdom, and His purposes are perfect, even if we can't yet see how everything fits together. God's plan for your life is not just about where you end up. It's about how you grow and transform along the way. Every challenge you face, every moment of doubt, and every triumph you experience is part of a greater journey that God has prepared for you. Faith means trusting that even the hard times have a purpose and that they are shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Sometimes we might feel discouraged because things don't go according to our own plans. But it's important to remember that God's plan is always better than anything we could imagine for ourselves. He knows what we need before we even ask for it. And He is orchestrating every part of our lives in ways that are designed to help us grow, thrive, and ultimately fulfill the unique purpose He has set out for us. Faith in God's plan means letting go of control and surrendering to His will, knowing that He will lead you to where you need to go. Even if the journey is difficult or unclear, faith assures us that we are walking with a Creator who loves us deeply and who is guiding us towards something greater. When we trust in God's plan, we can walk with confidence, knowing that we are never lost and that He is always working everything together for our good. God has a unique and incredible ability to transform our difficulties into something greater. It's often in the hardest moments of our lives that we experience His power most profoundly. What might seem like an insurmountable challenge can, with God's intervention, be the very thing that leads to growth, healing, and blessing. God doesn't just remove our struggles. He transforms them into opportunities for us to experience His strength, His love, and His grace. When we face difficulties, it's easy to focus solely on the problem, allowing it to define our reality. But when we invite God into our struggles, He can shift our perspective. Instead of seeing an obstacle, we begin to see a chance for transformation. God is not only capable of changing our circumstances, but He also works within us during the process, shaping our character, deepening our faith, and refining our hearts. Take, for example, the trials that seem to last forever. Those moments where you feel like you're running out of hope and strength. Yet when God steps in, He often takes what was meant to harm you and uses it to prepare you for something greater. He can turn pain into purpose, disappointment into determination, and hardship into a testimony of His faithfulness. The transformative power of God is evident in the way He uses our struggles to prepare us for greater things. Difficulties can teach us patience, resilience, and compassion. They can help us understand the depths of God's love and His desire for us to become more like Him. Through these challenges, we learn to rely on Him more fully and trust in His ability to bring about change in our lives, no matter how impossible it may seem. God specializes in turning what seems like a setback into a comeback. He can take our deepest wounds and turn them into sources of strength and wisdom that we can use to help others. What we once saw as a burden, God can transform into a blessing, something that draws us closer to Him and reveals His goodness in ways we never imagined. So, when difficulties arise, don't just look at them through the lens of hardship. Remember that with God's transformative power, your challenges can become opportunities for growth, breakthrough, and rescue. He is able to do immeasurably more than we could ask or imagine. And He will use even your difficulties to lead you into something greater. Embracing peace is one of the most powerful things you can do in the midst of life's storms. In a world filled with noise, chaos, and uncertainty, true peace comes not from external circumstances, but from the inner assurance that God is in control. When you invite God into your life and your struggles, He brings peace that surpasses understanding. Peace that is not dependent on what is happening around you, but rooted in the security of knowing that God's presence is with you. The peace of God isn't something you can manufacture or find on your own. It's a gift. And it's available to you no matter what you're facing. Even in the hardest times when everything feels like it's falling apart, God's peace can settle over your heart and mind like a calming balm. It doesn't mean that everything is perfect or that the problems will instantly disappear, but it means that you can face those challenges with a sense of calm assurance that you're not facing them alone. When you embrace peace, you choose to release the anxiety, fear, and worry that can consume your thoughts. You trust that God is bigger than your problems and that He is actively working in your life. His peace is like a refuge that protects you from the stress and pressures of life. It guards your heart from being overwhelmed and keeps your mind focused on what really matters. Sometimes embracing peace requires a shift in perspective. It means trusting that even when things don't make sense, God has a plan and He is working everything out for your good. It's choosing to believe that no matter what the situation looks like, God is in control and His peace will sustain you through every storm. Embracing peace is about surrendering your fears and uncertainties, allowing God to replace them with His calming presence. When you embrace peace, you also embrace the freedom to live fully in the moment without being constantly weighed down by what might happen in the future or regrets about the past. It's about living in the assurance that God's peace will carry you through whatever comes your way. And in that peace, you will find strength, resilience, and a sense of hope that can only come from the one who holds the world in His hands. Seeing challenges as opportunities is a mindset that can radically change the way you approach life's difficulties. Instead of viewing obstacles as roadblocks that stop you in your track, you can learn to see them as stepping stones that can lead to growth, transformation, and even greater achievements. When you choose to look at challenges through this lens, you begin to realize that each trial holds the potential to bring out the best in you. Challenges are a natural part of life. We all face them, whether it's a difficult situation at work, a personal struggle, or an unexpected setback. The key is how we respond to them. When you invite God into the situation, you can trust that He will guide you through it. And in the process, He will use the challenge to teach you valuable lessons. It might be a lesson in patience, perseverance, or humility. It might even be a lesson in trust as you learn to rely more fully on God's wisdom and strength. Every challenge you face holds the potential for something greater. The hardship that seems overwhelming right now could be the very thing that prepares you for a breakthrough in the future. It could lead you to new opportunities, new perspectives, or a deeper understanding of yourself and your faith. What feels like a setback today could be positioning you for success tomorrow. When you see challenges as opportunities, you also shift your focus from fear and frustration to possibility and growth. You begin to ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? With this mindset, you no longer feel defeated by your struggles. Instead, you feel empowered, knowing that every difficulty is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. God is always at work, even in the toughest times. He can take your struggles and turn them into something. The opportunity is in the way you approach the challenge, with faith, with trust, and with the belief that God is using every situation to mold you into who you are meant to be. When you embrace challenges as opportunities, you open the door to endless possibilities for growth, transformation, and success. Letting go of control is one of the most freeing and transformative steps you can take in life, especially when facing challenges. As human beings, we have a natural instinct to want to control our surroundings, outcomes, and even the actions of others. We believe that by managing every detail, we can avoid mistakes, prevent failure, and create the life we want. But in reality, the need for control can often lead to stress, frustration, and a sense of being overwhelmed. It can even limit the ways in which we experience God's grace and intervention in our lives. The truth is, there are things beyond our control, things that we cannot fix, change, or manipulate to fit our desires. This reality can be hard to accept, especially when we are facing something difficult or uncertain. However, letting go of control is not about giving up or being passive. It is about surrendering to a higher power, recognizing that God is in control and trusting that His plan is far better than anything we could design on our own. Letting go of control means releasing the burden of carrying everything on your own shoulders. It's acknowledging that no matter how much effort you put into something, you cannot guarantee the outcome. But here's the beauty in that. When you let go and allow God to take control, you invite His divine wisdom, strength, and peace into the situation. You stop trying to force things to happen in your timing and instead trust that God will bring about what is best in His perfect timing. One of the most powerful aspects of letting go of control is that it allows space for God to move. When we hold on too tightly to our plans, we often limit ourselves to only seeing one path forward. We become so focused on making things happen the way we envision that we miss out on the many ways God might be working to bring about something greater. When we relinquish control, we open ourselves to the endless possibilities that God's wisdom offers. We give God the room to lead us, to guide our steps, and to show us the way forward, something that our limited perspective might never have considered. It's also important to recognize that letting go of control doesn't mean becoming passive or inactive. It's about taking the right actions while trusting God with the results. It's about doing your best, but being willing to accept that there may be things outside of your influence. There is peace in knowing that you are doing your part, but you can leave the rest in God's hands. By letting go of the need to control, you free yourself from the constant stress of trying to manage every outcome in detail, and instead, you can trust in God's ability to work things out for your good. Letting go of control also frees you to embrace the present moment. So often, our desire for control is rooted in fear. Fear of the future, fear of failure, or fear of the unknown. But when we let go of that fear and choose to trust God, we can live in the peace of knowing that we are exactly where we need to be. We stop worrying about what might happen tomorrow or regretting what happened yesterday. Instead, we focus on the here and now. We allow ourselves to experience joy, peace, and gratitude in the present moment without the pressure of trying to manage every possible outcome. Furthermore, when we let go of control, we demonstrate faith in God's ability to take care of us. It is an act of trust that says, I believe that you are in control and that you have my best interests at heart. This faith becomes a foundation that empowers us to face life's challenges with courage and hope. We no longer have to struggle against the current of life because we know that God is the one holding the reins, guiding us through every twist and turn. Ultimately, letting go of control is not about weakness. It is about strength and surrender. It takes courage to let go of our own plans and trust in something greater. It's an act of faith, a decision to believe that God knows better than we do and that His plans for us are far greater than our own. When we release our grip on the things we cannot control, we open ourselves to the peace, joy, and blessings that God has in store for us. It's a life-changing shift that allows us to experience the fullness of God's love and grace, knowing that we are in His capable hands. Letting go of control is not a one-time event. It's a continual practice that requires daily trust and surrender. But as you continue to release the need to control every situation, you will find freedom and peace that only God can provide. You will experience His faithfulness in ways you never expected, and you will see the power of His work in your life as you let go and trust Him with all things. Expecting a breakthrough is about cultivating a mindset of hope and faith no matter what circumstances you are currently facing. It's an attitude that believes something good is coming even when things look bleak. It's the confidence that despite the struggles and setbacks you may be experiencing, God is still at work behind the scenes, orchestrating something greater for your future. Expecting a breakthrough is not just wishful thinking or hoping for the best. It's an active faith that anticipates God's intervention in your life in a tangible, powerful way. Many times, breakthroughs come when we least expect them. You may be walking through a season of challenges, feeling stuck, or wondering if things will ever change. In those moments, it's easy to feel discouraged and lose sight of the bigger picture. But expecting a breakthrough is about holding on to the belief that God has a plan, and His plan always includes hope, restoration, and transformation. A breakthrough is a moment when things suddenly shift, when what seemed impossible becomes possible, when obstacles that once seemed insurmountable are overcome, and when dreams that were once far out of reach suddenly come within your grasp. Breakthroughs can come in various forms: a change in your financial situation, a new job opportunity, the healing of a relationship, personal growth, or even a shift in your mindset. Whatever form it takes, a breakthrough is a turning point that sets you on a new course toward your God-given destiny. However, the path to a breakthrough is often not immediate or easy. There may be times when it feels like nothing is happening, or when you're discouraged by the slow pace of progress. But that's when expecting a breakthrough is most important. Faith isn't just about believing that God will intervene when everything is going well. It's about trusting Him in the times of struggle too. Expecting a breakthrough means maintaining hope and believing that God is working on your behalf, even when you can't see it. One of the key aspects of expecting a breakthrough is persistence. It means continuing to press forward. It's about taking each step with the confidence that though you may not see the results yet, your faith is working behind the scenes to bring about the change you need. Sometimes the breakthrough happens just when you're about to give up, and your faith and persistence create the very opening for God to move powerfully in your life. In moments of waiting, it's crucial to remember that God's timing is perfect. We may want a breakthrough to happen immediately, but God knows the right time and the right conditions for that breakthrough to occur. Trusting in His timing is a vital part of expecting a breakthrough. It's about understanding that while you may be waiting for a shift, God is preparing you for that moment. He is strengthening you, refining you, and getting everything ready so that when the breakthrough comes, you are fully prepared to embrace it. Expecting a breakthrough also involves removing any barriers to your faith. Doubt, fear, and negativity can prevent you from receiving the blessings God has in store. It's easy to fall into a mindset of defeat when faced with difficult circumstances. But to expect a breakthrough, you must align your thoughts and heart with God's promises. Speak life over your situation. Declare His goodness and trust that He will make a way where there seems to be no way. The breakthrough doesn't come when you're focused on the problem, but when you shift your focus to the power of God, knowing that He is able to do the impossible. Another important aspect of expecting a breakthrough is gratitude. Even before you see the breakthrough, practice thanking God for what He is going to do. Gratitude creates an atmosphere of faith and expectancy. When you thank God in advance, you acknowledge that He is faithful, and you open the door for Him to move in your life. It's an act of trust that says, God, I believe that you are working for my good, and I trust that you will bring about a breakthrough in your perfect timing. Expecting a breakthrough is also about staying open to God's ways. Sometimes the breakthrough may not look exactly how you imagined it, or it might come in a different form than you expected. But if you are open to how God chooses to move, you can recognize His work in ways you might not have anticipated. God's ways are higher than ours, and He can bring breakthroughs in ways that are beyond our understanding. So don't limit yourself by only expecting God to work in a specific way. Ultimately, expecting a breakthrough is a journey of trust and faith. It's about having the confidence that no matter what you're going through right now, a turning point is coming. God is at work even when it feels like nothing is happening. Your breakthrough is just around the corner. And with each step you take in faith, you are drawing closer to it. So don't lose heart in the waiting. Don't give up when things feel uncertain. Keep expecting the breakthrough because God is faithful to His promises. He will open doors that no one can shut, and He will make a way where there seems to be no way. When you expect a breakthrough, you open yourself up to the incredible possibilities that God has in store for you. Your breakthrough is not a matter of if, but when. And it's coming. Keep your faith strong. Keep your hope alive and expect that something amazing is about to happen in your life. As we close today, remember that breakthroughs don't just happen by chance. They are the result of faith, perseverance, and a mindset that believes in the impossible. Even in the moments when you can't see the way forward, know that God is working behind the scenes. He is making a way where there seems to be no way. And in His perfect timing, He will bring about the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Keep expecting, keep trusting, keep believing. Your breakthrough is on its way, and when it comes, it will be more than you could have ever imagined. Trust in the process, trust in God's timing, and hold on to the hope that the best is yet to come. Thank you for being here today. May you walk forward with renewed faith, knowing that the God who promises is the same God who delivers. Keep expecting because your breakthrough is just around the corner.